How you doing, guys? It's Thursday. Whew, this week is almost over. Nothing has changed here. A couple of really late nights at work. Helping somebody out on some problem cars. I was actually going to bring some pieces home and make a video. Do an educational video, but that has not happened. So, it doesn't matter. Have we worked on the car? No. Twofold condition. It's not a problem. It's a condition. We're just waiting. One, I don't have a welder other than the big boy. And the big boy needs a torch. That's what you call the cable with the trigger. So that's not a big deal. I am eventually going to put a torch on that thing, and I'm going to have Junior tweak that thing for me. That's a really nice welder. I sold my welder, or Junior sold my welder. Surprisingly, he got more than I paid for it 20 years ago. So I got 20 years out of it. Literally, I think it's actually, I'm trying to think when I bought it. Probably about 20 years ago. Give or take a year or two, it doesn't matter. So that's long gone. So when it came time to finishing the hood, I had no welder. Okay. We turned around, we bought a new welder. Bought an ESOB Rebel EM215 IC, it says on there. Much nicer than the welder I had. I'm still old school. This is, to me, that's a welder. Something the size of a house. This is, if you're doing production work, that's the welder to have. You just keep welding all day long, you don't think twice. Converter, inverter, two different things. The duty cycle is much shorter on these things, but for any normal kind of fabrication, you're never going to hit the duty cycle. If you're doing all-out production work where you're attaching pipes and beams together and you got to weld for 20 minutes straight and stick stuff, that'll duty cycle out, the other one won't. I forgot what the difference is. At full amps, I think this one goes down to 25, the other one's still at 60. That's why those machines are so much bigger. This machine, you can't even see the face of it, doesn't have every bell and whistle that the new stuff has. And the main difference is, and any guy that's a true welder knows what these machines are, the old millers. The difference is nowadays everything's digital. So you're not just setting it to a number 7 and a number 6 and, you know, dealing with the wire speed, amperage, and blah, 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 blah. You're actually coming on the screen, and you can change the volt from 17.1 to 17.2. Okay, and you could change the wire speed. I'll just pick a number 320 to 323. You know, you could fine tune it. So if you're doing intricate work, it's easier to use this machine. Plus the machine's, you know, a little bit more updated and things work a little better. This also has smart MIG on it, which is very similar. This is a MIG only, which is very similar to the miller that I use at work, except the miller that I use at work does not have a digital screen, so you're still going by numbers. This you could use 3530 or 23 wire and switch it over to smart MIG, which means if I'm going to weld something, it'll learn as soon. It takes a split second, but it'll learn, and you can just continue welding. You don't have to adjust the amperage. You don't have to adjust the wire speed. Nothing. Okay. Or you can go into manual mode. Okay, it's got steel, stainless steel, aluminum, and flux core. Difference between flux core and steel is the pullback at the end. So if you're welding flux core, and you let go of the trigger, the wire burns back to a certain distance and stops. So the stick out disappears. If you're doing steel, it still leaves basically the stick out on there. Okay, that's like the main feature difference. Right now we've only run flux core through it. We are waiting for an additional bottle. Okay, this bottle doesn't have the right mix in it. This bottle, I don't know if it's 100% argon, I don't know what it is, but this we run 75-25, so 75% argon, 25% CO2. already ordered the tank. It's on its way. Should have it by Wednesday. I don't want to flux core these. I could. As long as you clean it well, you can flux core. Done plenty of flux core body work. Never had an issue. But like I said, it has manual modes. It has 2 screens right here to adjust it all. Obviously, the gauge right there. You flip it up, it has a chart, plus it comes with a chart. You can reverse the polarity for flux core and regular MIG. The polarity is different. One shoots positive out the gun, one shoots negative, so you just switch those 2 leads. And that's pretty much it. It's a pretty potent machine. This is a 110, 220, 115, 230, however you want to word it, machine. I think it goes up to on 230 it goes up to 240 amps. So it does 3/8. I think it is plate steel. So it's definitely not a little baby machine. We will be running it, or he's already run it on the 220. Right, that should be what's on here. That's the thing. There's the thing, and somewhere there's the cord back there. Yeah. No, it looks like he had it adapted down to 110 to do the flux core. But you can see he's already got the 220 plug, and then the adapter down to 110. Okay, we picked up a pair of these Harbor Freight dollies. One for this and one for the TIG. Okay, and for now they'll take the place of this machine. This machine is going to be moved out of here. And that's it. I told him we're going to hook them down to the carts. It'll just make it harder for someone to grab them. You can't really penetrate my house without us being aware of it. 1, someone's always home. 2, we see you when you pull up in front of the house. We see you walking up the house. We see you anywhere in the house. And when you open up the door, it already sends something letting us know you've penetrated. And the lights will come on for you to make it even nicer for you. So, to me, hopefully all that fails except for the notification, so I can come out here with a bat. So, I'm not really worried about stuff. That's why I don't worry about my cars. But it's hard to steal the car. You have to move the fish tank. That's moving Saturday, finally. So finally that'll be moved. I'm going to collapse that down. I'm going to set up the sawhorses. I'm going to take that hood, put it over here. I'm going to tape the front of it again. Transfer the tape onto here so I could drill my 6 holes. Okay, and have obviously room to work. We're going to weld up that cross. We're going to fill in, where are they? We're going to fill in the hood pin holes. Okay. I'm going to make sure the molding lines up. That's the goal. I'm going to make sure the molding lines up. I could actually leave the hood pins in for now. It doesn't matter as long as the hood lays flat like this. I'm going to make sure the molding lines up, and I have a little movement up, down, and to either side after it lines up. Even if I got to go in there with a very small Dremel. Then we're going to pop the grill back out of the car, and I want to play with the latch. I bought a different latch, one that's not cable operated, not realizing this year they changed the way it bolts on, so the other one when it comes here is going to be no good for me anyway. It's going to be like a waste of money. This is the secondary catch up here, and then the primary was a cable. But if I'm looking at it, you see the circle turns right there? That gives me an area to weld to. But the only way I could do any of that is to pop the grill out of the car and find a nice place. And you don't want to get too crazy that the weight of it will actually pop this open. Preferably, I mean, obviously we're going to go through this. You can see how slow it comes back. Preferably, I want the weight of the handle to try and act with the spring and push it this way. So the weight of the handle, say, would be on the left and pulling it back down. That's what I would really like. But we'll see how that works out. We might hook a cable to here. The cable hooked to this square hole here, went inside the car. Everyone known to man has a broken handle. I used to open up the... I'm telling you, since the day I got the car, there was a set of pliers sitting on the floor. So, at 20,000 miles, this thing already had a broken handle. The cables are like impossible to get. It's not worth it. Do I mind that it's cable operated? No. As long as I can put the cable somewhere else. Not the original factory dashboard garbage. The cable never broke. It's just the handle. So, something we're going to look into, but I'm going to take this to work tomorrow because my hand's getting black now. And we are going to soak this in parts cleaner and get every bit of this grease out. Once we get every bit of this grease out, I'll oil all the key points so this thing is working like absolutely mint. Then we'll do some mock-up with it. Okay? And then obviously we'll clean it down again and we'll do it probably just a satin black. So when you look into the grill, it like fades away. Because that looks like the color it was. I don't see any white on it at all that I could see.